Hey everyone, it's Sarah, and today I am back with a fragrance haul to share with you. These are actually samples, so just little mini vials of some fragrances that I wanted to go ahead and test to see if there was anything that I wanted to buy a full bottle of. If you are not familiar with the website Lucky Scent, they actually carry all different kinds of fragrances, but they are more geared towards niche fragrance houses, or perfumers. You're not gonna find your big kind of department store type fragrance houses on there. So you will not find like Chanel or Guerlain or any of the larger kind of well-known fragrance houses. These are all going to be more of your kind of niche brands. Even though they are well-known niche brands, that website is geared towards niche fragrance. Sorry, that was a long explanation. However, all of that to say that you can buy a sample of just about any perfume that you would like to, which is fantastic. So oftentimes I will go onto the website and I will go through my wish list, which is ginormous, and I will order 8 to 10 samples of fragrance anytime I'm looking to purchase a new bottle of perfume. So a lot of the time, if I'm not purchasing from Lucky Scent, a lot of the time I am blind buying fragrance, which is maybe not the best way to do things, because I do find that I end up reselling things if it doesn't work for me, or sometimes I'll just keep it in my collection and hope that it will grow on me. But I would say about 90% of the time I am able to blind buy a fragrance and be just fine and perfectly happy with it, because over the many years that I've been in love with fragrance, I have definitely narrowed down the notes that I like, and the different I can look at a perfume in the notes and know whether or not I'm most likely gonna like it or not. Sometimes I get it wrong, most of the times I don't. Anyways, that was a super long intro, but let's just go ahead and jump into the fragrance samples that I purchased. I'm gonna let you know I have worn every single one of these samples. I'll let you know kind of the notes. I did go through and write down all the notes, because I am not good enough to smell it and be able to tell you what all the notes are in it. So we'll go through the notes. I'll talk to you about how it wore, if it worked for me, if it's something that I'm planning on buying a bottle of. So yeah, let's just go ahead and jump into this. Okay, so a lot of these fragrances are fragrances that I've been hearing a lot about for quite some time, but I have just not taken any steps to kind of seek them out or anything. So I finally just got on and again just did a big sample order. And so most of these are well known within the kind of niche market, and you will hear quite a few people speaking about these fragrances. But again, these are ones that I just had never smelled before. Okay, so the first little sample that I picked up, and please don't mind my fingernails there, I need to paint them so badly. The first little sample here that I picked up is by M. Micallef, and this is the fragrance Royal Mooska. So Royal Mooska is, let's see here, let me find where I wrote this down. Did I write Royal Mooska down? Yes, I did. Okay. Royal Mooska is ylang ylang, rose, precious woods, white musks, fruits, and benzoin. The full-size bottle of this is going to run you anywhere from $110 to $265, and I think the $110 one is a 30 ml bottle possibly, and then the $265 bottle is either a 50 or 100 ml bottle, probably 100 mils. But anyways, I have heard a few people here on YouTube talking about this fragrance. These little things are so hard to get open sometimes. Oh gosh. Right out of the bottle here, it just smells very clean. It does, the first note that I smell is musk. Yeah, the musk very strong. I don't get the ylang ylang. I do get the rose in it. Yeah, it's definitely woody. I don't get a lot of fruits in here. I would definitely say it's a woody musk. It's a little bit powdery. It's really nice. However, on my skin, this didn't work real well for me with my chemistry. So this one is very beautiful. It goes on beautifully. It dries down to that really nice clean musk smell. But on me, something in it went a little bit sour. So it ended up smelling just a little off. And so this is definitely not one that I will be purchasing a full bottle of. It does smell really, really, really good, but I can go either way with musk. Some of them smell really, really good on me. Some of them smell really, really bad on me. And this one just didn't smell very good on me. This also had a very, it didn't have a lot of projection. It didn't have a ton of longevity for me. So yeah, this one just didn't work out so well for me. So that was definitely a no for me. The second one I picked up is, okay, so I'm starting this off on a negative note, but I promise it'll get better. So the second sample that I picked up is from Parfums de Marly, and this is the Cassili fragrance. So this is the most recent fragrance that they came out with. And in the bottle, this smells amazing, but it almost smells like a kind of a vintage 90s fragrance, and me having really grown up in the 90s, as far as that's when I was in high school, was in the 90s, this smells like a very kind of vintage 90s fragrance to me. I get fruits right away. This almost, and I hate to say this, but because this perfume is so expensive, but I almost get hints of like the very original Tommy Hilfiger, Tommy Girl, sorry, the very first Tommy Girl that came out. And trust me, I wore that right after I graduated high school. And I get hints of the very first Tommy Girl. Now this of course is more expensive smelling. It's much more complex than Tommy Girl, but that's what I get from this, and it's super fruity. Let me tell you what this has got in it. So this has got red currant, rose, white flowers, plum, mimosa, plumeria. I definitely get a little bit of plumeria in there. Petalia, sandalwood, tonka, and vanilla. I don't smell any tonka. I don't smell any vanilla. I can definitely smell the rose. I can definitely smell the plum, as well as I think probably the most prominent note for me is the plumeria. Now, something about this perfume is not good for my body chemistry. So I put this on, and usually when I'm testing perfumes, I'll put them on pretty heavily so that I can really get a good idea of what those top notes smell like when you very first put it on. And then I like to just get a really good idea of what the entire life of the perfume is going to smell like on me, as far as what it smells like when it dries down, and I want it to be strong. So I will put perfume on pretty heavily when I'm testing it. This one I put on, and it smelled great when I very first put it on. It was beautiful, it was floral, it was sweet, it was summery. It smelled really beautifully, and I really could smell that plumeria. I left the house and I drove about 25 minutes away to go shopping. And by the time I got to my destination, this had turned so sickening on me. My body chemistry does not like this. It had turned, it smelled like, and this is gonna sound crazy, but it smelled like a bag of rotting fruit. And if you've ever been to the hair salon and have been having your hair colored, and when they start putting all the stuff in the bowl and mixing it up, that's what it smelled like. It smelled like a bag of rotting fruit, and so chemically that it smelled like I was sitting there having my hair done while I had just drenched myself in rotten fruit juice. It was so sickening to me. I mean, it made me nauseous. It just, oh my gosh, that fragrance did not work for me at all. So I will definitely not be purchasing a bottle of that. I love the Delina fragrance from Parfums de Marly. It's beautiful, it's bright and crisp, and it doesn't do anything weird with my chemistry, but that one just, was not good for me. Okay, the third fragrance that I picked up was this this guy. It's called Tohono by a brand called Indult. I don't know if you'll be able to see these. There you go, Indult, and this is called Tohono. So I picked this up because I've heard a few people say that this is just the most beautiful, perfect vanilla fragrance, and I love vanilla. I love vanilla as a note in perfumes. I love just plain vanilla perfumes. I love vanilla candles. I don't think that there are a lot of people that don't like vanilla. It's just a beautiful fragrance. So this one, and this is just the most gorgeous vanilla. And unfortunately, I have not found a really, really good vanilla perfume that works for me. I'm on the hunt for one, but my body chemistry either turns it to a weird Play-Doh smell or just eats it up. Like it doesn't last on me at all. The closest thing that I found with some vanilla in it that lasts a long time on me is the Nirvana. Why can't I think of the name? It's like the most popular thing in the world. I'll think of it in a minute, but Nirvana, the perfume Nirvana, that just the plain one that comes in the brown bottle, that one I can smell the vanilla on me, but it dries down to a more woody kind of smoky smell on me, which I adore, so I don't mind it. But I would love to find a just beautiful, straight, sweet vanilla that works for me, and I was hoping that that's what this would be. Unfortunately, this goes straight to Play-Doh. So it just smells like Play-Doh on me. It's beautiful, beautiful out of the bottle, but that vanilla fragrance lasts for about 5 minutes and then it just dries down to Play-Doh. This is very soft. It is not super long lasting on me either. That's another thing. My skin eats fragrance. So I'm typically looking for something that is going to have a really kind of good lasting power, and that they typically have to be pretty strong for them to last on my skin, and this one just did not do it for me. But it is a beautiful, beautiful fragrance. Let me tell you what the notes are in that. It's basically vanilla bean and musks, and that's it. And the price on that is $200, so that is a pricey vanilla fragrance. And let me tell you what the price on the Parfums de Marly one was. That one is $305, so yeah, very, very pricey. Okay, moving on. The next one that I picked up, and this is the winner of the bunch. This is and of course it would be, this is the Maison Francis Kurkdjian, Baccarat Rouge 540. So this is very, very popular. Everybody is talking about this fragrance, which is why I had to order a sample of it. This is very, very expensive. This ranges anywhere from $180, and I believe the $180 is 3 of the little tiny travel sizes that come with like an aromatizer or something. And then it goes all the way up to $575. And I think the $575 is for 100 mils. So this is a very expensive perfume, but this thing, there's a reason everybody is talking about this because it is so gorgeous. Oh my gosh. So the notes in this are citrus, jasmine, saffron, sage, ambergris, oak moss, and cedar. And this is stunning. This is a stunning perfume. Oh my gosh. So I really get the saffron in this. I can really smell the saffron. It's so beautiful. I mean, you really can smell like all the notes in this. Oh, it's gorgeous. You can definitely smell the jasmine. It's just a beautiful perfume. And this lasts forever. So I wore this to work day before yesterday, and I put it, and this is very strong, so a little goes a long way. You do not have to put a ton of this on. I just dabbed it on my neck and kind of on the back of my neck and on my wrists, and I went to work. It lasted all day. It smelled the same. This is one that it doesn't like dry down and smell different than what it smells in the bottle. It stays very true to the scent, and this lasts forever. So I usually will wear a pullover to work, and I was wearing a pullover, and I wore the same pullover yesterday, but I had worn a different perfume. And it was another perfume that I was testing. And the perfume that I was testing had completely gone away. I couldn't smell it at all anymore by the end of the day. But I smelled my wrist and I could smell this perfume, which just from having worn this the previous day and then having put the same pullover on where it had gotten on the insides of the sleeves and around my neck bone, it had transferred from my clothing back onto my skin, and I again smelled like Baccarat Rouge for 540. So this is a beast of a fragrance. It is gorgeous. It is there is a reason it's so hyped up, and it is definitely worth the hype. It is beautiful, beautiful fragrance. Okay, I'm sorry. I hope this video isn't getting super long. I only have 3 more to go. So the next one I picked up is another one by M. Micallef. Sorry, this is the Note Vanille, I believe. And this is, again, another vanilla perfume I was hoping would work out for me. And this one did better for me, definitely, than the Tohono. This one is beautiful, but this is not like a true smelling vanilla the way that the Tohono is. The Tohono is definitely like a vanilla extract, smells just like vanilla extract straight out of the bottle, just beautiful vanilla. This is definitely different. Vanilla is definitely just one of the notes in this. So this has mandarin, jasmine, honey, licorice, sandalwood, vanilla, cognac, and rum in it. And you definitely get the cognac and rum. Oh yeah, this is definitely more of like a boozy vanilla. I don't get a lot. I can smell the honey. Oh yeah, I can definitely smell the licorice. This is one that you can really smell the notes in this. I can definitely smell the licorice. I don't get a lot of the mandarin or jasmine, but those are the top notes, so I think that those will kind of dissipate pretty quickly. This was beautiful. This definitely wore very well on me. It didn't turn weird. It didn't smell like Play-Doh, but it didn't smell a whole lot like vanilla either. It smelled more boozy than anything, and when it dried down, it got very muted on me. I couldn't really smell it. I really had to get my nose into my skin to smell this one, and just for that alone, I would not purchase a full bottle of it, because this, again, very pricey. The price on this is $235 for a bottle. So yeah, definitely not going to be purchasing a bottle of that. Okay, the next one is also another M. Micallef, and this is the Ananda Dulce. So this one is, let's see here. This is beautiful. I really get banana. I mean, and it doesn't have banana in it, but when you first smell this right out of the bottle, ooh, it smells like a sweet banana, like a banana runt candy. It's really beautiful. But so this has almond, peach, almond blossom, white flowers, amber, tonka bean, and musk. And I love almond in perfumes. Oh, and you smell the almond, but something about the almond with the, I want to say probably the peach. The almond and the peach and the tonka together make it smell like banana somehow. Oh, it's beautiful. It's sweet. It's fresh. It's clean. It's just a beautiful fragrance. But again, this one wore fine on me. It didn't do anything weird. It didn't dry down in a weird way, or do anything weird with my chemistry. But it's just, it didn't last super long on me. And again, it wasn't very, it didn't project at all, and it really just, these ones dry down to really like a skin scent on me. So yeah, I would, again, another pricey one. This one is you can anywhere from $110 to $215. So yeah, I wouldn't purchase a full bottle of it, but it is a gorgeous, gorgeous scent, especially if you like almond. And one thing, the only thing that I hate about these samples is I feel like fragrance behaves differently, and I might be crazy, but I feel like fragrance behaves differently depending on if you spray it on rather than dabbing it on. And since you have to dab these little things on, I feel like it behaves a little bit differently than if you were able to really get a good spray of it. So, and I don't prefer to dab. I really prefer to be able to spray it. I want to spray it in my hair. I want to spray it on my skin. I want to spray it on my clothes to really see how a fragrance is going to kind of behave. And I find that very hard to do when you're dabbing, but you definitely can get a good idea of how a fragrance is going to wear just by dabbing. But anyways, even when I get this on my fingers, I just smell banana runts. That's what this fragrance smells like to me. It's beautiful. It's very beautiful, but again, not full bottle worthy for me. And the last one, and this is definitely a good one, and I had been hesitant to try this for a very long time. This is the Molecule 01 by Eccentric Molecules. And I've been hearing people talk about this for a very long time, but I had been hesitant to even try it because the kind of molecule fragrance kind of sensation thing is just not very interesting to me. That's the kind of whole thing behind the Juliet Has a Gun, Not a Perfume, is that it's just a single note, a single molecule note, and which comprises the whole fragrance. And I don't find those to be super interesting. So I had put off on even trying to seek this out at all for a long time, but I am glad that I finally picked it up because this is actually so beautiful. This is different than the Juliet Has a Gun, Not a Perfume. That one reminds me a lot of Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue. Like I get a lot of, but just not as complex and not as long wearing, and not as really interesting as Light Blue. And I don't find Light Blue to be interesting. So the Juliet Has a Gun one just didn't impress me very much, even though it's beautiful. It's a beautiful fragrance, and it's, there's nothing wrong with it. It's clean, it's breezy, it's easy to wear, but not that interesting. This Eccentric Molecules one, and I think that the reason I like this one so much is because this is comprised of the ISO Super E molecule, which I believe they use, and don't quote me on this because it's kind of coming from memory. I didn't write it down, but I want to say that this is that they use this in perfumes to get that kind of sweet cedar or sandalwood type smell without having to use those actual oils. This is beautiful. My favorite, because I haven't done a lot of fragrance videos, I'll go ahead and tell you. My favorite types of scents to wear are dark, smoky, woody, sweet. I love gourmands, but I love my incensey, patchouli. I just love those fragrances, and it's because I grew up with my mom as a child. I was a child in the 80s, and I grew up with my mom wearing fragrances like Estee Lauder Cinnabar, Dior Poison. She wore fragrances like that. So that is my idea of just beautiful perfume. And so I've been drawn to that my entire life. I love those big kind of 80s florals and spicy perfumes. I just love them. So this to me is just a very, very light, easy perfume that you can spray on, but I still get that kind of warm, woody smell that feeds my soul. So I'm sorry, I've been talking about this forever, just to get to the point that I love this perfume, even though it's a single note molecule perfume that is pretty basic and not very interesting. I love this one because it's beautiful and on my body, and they say that this one's supposed to kind of be different on everybody, smell different on everybody, depending on what your body chemistry is kind of, excuse me, kind of like. But this is just gorgeous. I love it. So I'm definitely going to be picking up a full bottle of this one. So this is the winner, and then the Maison Francis Kurkdjian is the second winner of this bunch, but that one is a little bit cost prohibitive for me at the moment. So I may end up going with, there is a clone house that makes clones of a lot of these perfumes. I have never tried anything from them before, but the house is called Alexandria Fragrances, and they do make a clone of the Baccarat Rouge 540 as well as the X-Straight version of it. Though I don't know why you would need an X-Straight of it, because that thing is a beast on its own, and I cannot imagine what the X-Straight would be like. It would probably last for days on your skin, but yeah. So anyways, guys, I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope that you found it helpful. I know it's different from what I've been doing, but I love fragrance. I'm passionate about it, and I have just recently started really becoming even more passionate about it. So you're definitely on a ride with me, because I will probably be doing many more fragrance videos in the future. I have a ton of different fragrances on their way to me in the mail right now. One that I asked for Mother's Day, as well as one that I recently discovered that I'm really excited to get and to share with you. So anyways, I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope that you found it helpful. If you did, please don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe before you leave, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.